shot by accident is tonight fighting for his life. Family members of hostages still held in Lebanon, including the Jenko family of Joliet, asked Congress again for more help. Rock Hudson is back in California, but his condition has not improved. Near record levels for the U.S. trade deficit, and Chicagoans are getting ready to step out at the city's newest night spot. These stories and more coming up next during the 9 o'clock news.
Club, Saturday afternoon at 1 on Channel 9. WGN presents. We'll return after these messages. Have you ever watched Designing Women and wondered, why is Anthony always leaving the room?
This is too much. I mean, have mercy.
The answer? Only on Designing Women. Weekdays at 2 on Channel 9. Controversial? Probably. Different? Absolutely. I know you're gonna dig No Bull. Every week with Phil Jackson, plus the hot shots and loose cannons of the NBA. Less bull, more bulls. It's the show they'll be talking about Monday morning, so you better be there Sunday night. No Bull with Phil Jackson. Sunday night at 10 on Channel 9. WGN presents. We'll return after these messages. Back to the Future. Monday at 6:30 on WGN Channel 9.
I'll keep that in mind.
Tomorrow night at 10:30, a beautiful rookie cop becomes a killer's fantasy. Jamie Lee Curtis stars in Blue Steel. It's going to be a border clash when Milwaukee comes to town. The action starts with a Bullseye pregame Tuesday at 7. The Bulls and Bucks at 7:30.
Basketball is back, and America's #1 sports station is back with all the action. Be there as the Chicago Bulls burst onto the court, ready to battle the Atlanta Hawks. It's the basketball season premiere, Bulls versus Hawks, Friday night at 7, here on America's #1 station for sports, Channel 9.
When you turn to us, welcome home. Very own Channel 9.
Tonight on the Thursday night movie, chivalry takes on new meaning as 3 suave musketeers are commissioned to recover the Queen's jewels. A simple, noble task takes them on a royal adventure. Richard Chamberlain, Raquel Welch, Oliver Reed, and Michael York star in the swashbuckling adventure comedy The Three Musketeers.
Channel 9 brings you the official winning number in the Illinois State Lottery's daily game. Drawing tonight's number is Mary D, and the lottery official is Peter Raphael, CPA with Coopers and Lybrand. These are tonight's 3 machines in a randomly selected order. Each has 10 balls, 0 through 9. And drawing starts by mixing the balls in the first machine. Next, the balls in the second machine, and then the third machine. And now here is tonight's first winning digit. 5. The first number is 5. Tonight's second winning digit. 4. The second number is 4. And the third and last digit. 4. The third number is 4. And so for tonight, November 3rd, 1983, the official winning number is 544. Join us again tomorrow night with the winning numbers drawn in the Illinois State Lottery's daily game plus the Pick 4 game. And this Saturday for the Lotto drawing for a minimum grand prize of $2.5 million.
Good evening, I'm Tom Skilling in Chicago. We had a high of only 47 degrees today, and tonight a major rain system is missing our Chicago area, but affecting areas downstate. Very cool Canadian high pressure will be our dominant weather feature the next couple of days. You can see these pressure lines, which are the little white lines we draw on the map, are close together. This means a very strong flow of windy, cool air coming in out of Canada, and that's likely to be ours through tomorrow, bringing some clouds in off the lake and giving us some cool temperatures. Right now, here's a plot of the precipitation. All of it is heading southeastward, so no rain expected in Chicago, and a little sunshine by tomorrow afternoon, but temperatures, as you can see here, are only in the 40s tomorrow. That's weather for now. More on the 9 o'clock news tonight.
Richard Chamberlain and Raquel Welch return in tonight's WGN Thursday night movie, The Three Musketeers. Madeline Smith. Sanat, Tuesday, November 15th at 7 on Chicago's very own channel.
The Three Musketeers, starring Michael York and Oliver Reed, continues. Tonight's WGN Thursday night movie, The Three Musketeers, starring Richard Chamberlain and Raquel Welch, continues. Tonight's special feature brought to you in part by Eagle Discount Supermarkets.
Good evening, I'm Tom Skilling in Chicago. This is a look live now at National Weather Service radar from St. Louis, showing heavy thunderstorms pounding downstate areas of Illinois and Missouri. This activity, however, is going southeastward, so you can see that we're clear up here in the northern part of the state and should stay that way.
You changed since I last saw you.
We will continue with friendly persuasion after.
Join us tomorrow night at 7 for the conclusion of The Deer Hunter.
Barbra Streisand and Robert Redford return in The Way We Were. And now we return to The Way We Were, starring Barbra Streisand and Robert Redford. Our Tuesday night feature, The Way We Were, starring Barbra Streisand and Robert Redford, continues. And now we return to The Way We Were, starring Barbra Streisand and Robert Redford.
Good evening. Veterans are honored across the country this day. In Washington, President Reagan thanks Vietnam veterans for their patience. While here in Chicago, hundreds turn out for various ceremonies. A man is rescued after a building collapses on him. And at this hour, police are still negotiating with a man who barricaded himself inside a Southwest Side apartment. We'll have a full report tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
Isn't it? So is this. To quit smoking is a challenge, an uphill battle, but you can do it. Take it a step at a time, and your lungs improve. You breathe easier. You don't get winded, and you come out on top with a whole new view of yourself.
Good evening. I'm Tom Skilling in Chicago. It's now 49 degrees. We had a high of 55 today, and tomorrow should be a nice day. We'll get the sun out and expect 63, but look for a weekend cooling trend. Saturday and Sunday, at least part of the day, Sunday may be kind of wet. We have some brief showers crossing the area right now. These are very spotty, very light. You can see the clouds producing them, but breaks out to the west mean we'll probably see some improvement tomorrow. A lot of sunshine on the way as a storm system, which looks impressive on the weather maps tonight, but is starved for any great amount of moisture, comes our way and loses intensity. Here's a 24-hour satellite movie. See the clouds coming in today, but breaks out to the west mean a nice day tomorrow, and temperatures near 63. That's the weather for now. More on the 9 o'clock news tonight.
Real
the lather, the scent is brisk. No one does it quite like this. Ghost works as hard as you. Ghost works as hard as you. Picks you up and pulls you through. It pulls you through. Ghost works as hard as you.
And now the war wagon rolls on with John Wayne.
Good evening. A West Side community group demonstrated today by an apartment where earlier this week whites intimidated 3 black residents who later moved from the neighborhood. Chicago police officer Robert Muscolino shot and killed his wife, then turned the gun on himself. And a second day of nature's wrath downstate when a tornado touched down in Decatur. Details coming up on the 9 o'clock news.
Newsbreak, brought to you by Walgreens, the Shopper Center.
Good evening, I'm Tom Skilling. In Chicago, skies are clear, and we have a good deal of sunshine on the way during the day tomorrow, but very cold tonight. And big travel problems in the Lake Snowbelt of Indiana, where you can see lake effect clouds blowing in. Visibility at South Bend at this hour, currently in the range of 1 mile, and there are still roads closed in parts of Indiana, also outlying areas of Illinois. But the situation's improving. We look for temperatures here to go up to the mid-teens in Chicago tomorrow. And while you can see on this animation today's milky white cold Arctic air coming down, watch as milder Pacific air breaks into it, eating away at the milky white, brings some clouds too. Those will be in tomorrow night and Sunday. That's the weather for now. We'll have more on the 9 o'clock news, which is on at 10 o'clock tonight.
And now the war wagon rolls on with John Wayne.
The Facts of Life, 5 p.m. weekdays.
Flaming Star. Friday night at 7 on Channel 9.
Mobile Showcase Network presents Laurence Olivier's King Lear.
Tell me, my daughters, which of you, shall we say, doth love us most?
It's been called the greatest play ever written and stars the most accomplished actor of our time.
How sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child.
King Lear, Thursday night at 7 here on Channel 9.
My wife will drop dead if she sees you in her bed.
Chester, I am your wife.
So, weeknights at 10 here on Channel 9.
What if she didn't get it out of her system? What then?
Don't worry about a thing, won't it, John? That's what I'm afraid of!
Now, there's a guy who's going to laugh all the way to the bank because his movie is one of this year's biggest moneymakers.
Join us for a look at the box office hits of '87 this week on At the Movies.
Tonight at 7:30.
So much.
The Waltons, weekday mornings at 9 on Channel 9. Bernie Miller, weeknights at 6 on Channel 9.
On that dope brew, kill the cop. Lou Grant, Sunday nights at 10:30 on Chicago's very own Channel 9. Live coverage of the Democratic senatorial debate tonight at 7 here on Chicago's very own Channel 9.
We'll be right back.
Making the most of the moment, that's the way you are. We've been living life right with you, sharing good times, we've come far. We're a part of Chicago, a city filled with pride. Growing up together with a good feeling that grows from inside. Filled with pride, when you turn to us, welcome home. Welcome home. Chicago's very own Channel 9. Keeping in touch with tomorrow.
It's all lots of, and it all begins Tuesday night at 7 on Channel 9.
And now, John Wayne returns in the Alamo.
The best-kept secret can be hid no longer, and you alone have the key to Tales from the Dark Side.
All we have to do is murder your wife.
From the producers of Creepshow comes a brand new anthology of tantalizing tales of terror.
There's no such thing as spirits!
Join us each week for another journey into Tales from the Dark Side.
Sunday nights at 10 on Channel 9.
And now, John Wayne returns in the Alamo.
The Shiloh Baptist Church announces its 95th anniversary celebration beginning November 14th. Call 651-1750.
Weeknights this fall, WKRP is back on the air.
All right, gentlemen, let's get out there and win one for WKRP.
Morning, gorgeous. You got anything for me?
Only the mail, Herb. That's all I'll ever have for you.
And it's business as usual for this major market station.
Yes, God is my witness. I thought turkeys could fly.
WKRP in Cincinnati, weeknights at 10 here on Channel 9.
Bad John. John Wayne Week begins Tuesday at 7 on Channel 9. Weeknights beginning at 5 here on Channel 9.
Who are these people, and what in the world are they doing? Wait, I know him. That's Bob Collins. Oh, and that's Pat Hurley. Bob Collins America. That's the show where Bob and Pat risk life and limb in search of America's favorite pastimes.
Pat, would you please put that whip away before you hurt somebody?
Join the quest this afternoon at 4:30 on Channel 9.
Tomorrow night at 11:30, WGN presents Gene Hackman in an epic tale of the French Foreign Legion, March or Die.
Now, Channel 9's Late Movie will return after these messages.
Making the most of the moment. That's the way you are. We've been living life right with you, sharing the good times we've come far. We're a part of Chicago, a city that's filled with pride. Growing up together with the good feeling that grows from inside. When you turn to us, welcome home. Welcome home. Very own Channel 9. When you turn to us, welcome home. Welcome home. Chicago's very own. We're a part of Chicago. Belongs to Chicago. Chicago's very own. Chicago.
Come share in the joy and wonder of the holiday season. You could win a trip to Chicago for the magnificent Mile Lights Festival and experience shopping on Michigan Avenue. You'll fly American Airlines, stay at the Sheraton Chicago Hotel and Towers, and receive VIP passes to the magnificent Mile Lights Festival. Send a postcard with your name, age, address, and phone number to Lights Festival, WGN-TV Chicago, 60618, and see Chicago's Michigan Avenue transformed into a breathtaking holiday spectacle.
Good evening. On the Mediterranean island of Malta at this hour, hijackers have control of an Egypt Air jetliner with more than 100 persons on board, including some Americans. There are reports of some possible deaths. The U.S. State Department says there are apparently some casualties. The plane was hijacked during a flight today from Athens to Cairo. More details on this breaking story and all the day's news at 9 o'clock.
Johnny Carson like you've never seen him before in the fastest moving, most hilarious half hour on television. Carson's Comedy Classics. Johnny Carson. He's the king of comedy.
Long live the king.
The king lives!
The king lives!
With the sketches, skits, guest stars, and bits that have kept you laughing for over 2 decades. He's the master in a new series of pure comedy entertainment. Carson's Comedy Classics.
Weeknights at 10 on Channel 9.
Is destiny, ruler of darkness.
You are in
Devian, Omen 2.
Wednesday night at 7 on Channel 9.
Next week on the new Falls
Premieres Saturday night at 5:30 on Channel 9.
Foul Play.
Thursday, October 17th on Channel 9.
We would like to feel that every call that comes into us, we've saved that person's life.
All about us. In touch.
Men read me because they think the books are incredibly raunchy.
It's a great life. In print.
You know, somehow, no matter how grown up we get, we all have a little Cinderella in us.
What's hot? What's not? In fantasies. In touch. In store on the next In Day.
Tuesday at 1 on.
This is Bob Stack.
And I'm Rose Marie, inviting you to indulge yourself on It's a Great Life. Knott's Landing star Michelle Lee will introduce us to the most adorable guest we've ever had on the show.
It's the first time that wrinkles are an advantage. You'll hear all about Michelle's version of The Great Life and about her new movie.
And Bob and I will show you the highlights of the fabulous trip we took to Portugal. Join us. It's a Great Life on In Day.
It's a Great Life. Thursday at 1:30 on Channel 9. We return to Love is a Many Splendored Thing.
It's a spectacular night of superstars. First, the start of something big with Bob Hope, Joan Collins, Raquel Welch, Julio Iglesias, Steve Allen, and more. How'd they make it to the top? This is the start of something big. Then, exciting people, exotic places with Pam Dauber in Nepal and Brooke Shields on safari in Africa. A spectacular night of superstars, exciting people, exotic places right after the start of something big.
Tonight at 6:30, right here on Channel 9.
Yes, Martin Luther King was a great dreamer, and we'll be celebrating his dream with Free at Last, a musical tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King through the eyes of children. We've got folk singer Ella Jenkins, the Blackstreet Puppet Theater, and songs, dances, skits, and speeches of school children from all over the country. Celebrate with us. That's Monday, January 14th at 7 p.m. right here on Chicago's very own Channel 9.
It's a spectacular night of superstars. First, the start of something big with Bob Hope, Joan Collins, Raquel Welch, Julio Iglesias, Steve Allen, and more. How'd they make it to the top? This is the start of something big. Then, exciting people, exotic places with Pam Dauber in Nepal and Brooke Shields on safari in Africa. A spectacular night of superstars, exciting people, exotic places right after the start of something big.
Tonight at 6:30, right here on Channel 9.
Say.
Now, journey into the dark side of your imagination. Tales from the dark side.
Sunday nights at 10 on Channel 9. Humphrey Bogart returns in Treasure of Sierra Madre. Join Monty Hall and a host of stars for the Variety Club Show of Love Telethon, live from Chicago, beginning Saturday night at 10 here on Channel 9. Sunday night at 6:30 on Channel 9.
One of the fastest men in the NFL, Willie Gold.
To reach your goal, you have to be in the right place at the right time. So be in front of Channel 9 News with Robert Jordan, November 18th. He'll help you stop smoking for good. Freedom from smoking in 20 days. That's a record you can be proud of.
Pick up your free Stop Smoking manual at a PruCare Health Center, True Value Hardware Store, or the Chicago Lung Association.
30 weeknights on Channel 9. Killer Jenny's War. Tuesday night at 7 on Channel 9.
We return to Two Mules for Sister Sarah.
Monday night at 7 on Channel 9.
We return to Two Mules for Sister Sarah.
Focus Hope will sponsor its annual Thanksgiving Talent Show November 28th. For information, call 885-0390.
We return to Two Mules for Sister Sarah.
I see.
Tomorrow morning, the Cubs wind up their road trip against the Phillies. Catch all the action beginning at 11 here on Channel 9.
Good evening, I'm Tom Skilly in Chicago. It's 22 degrees now. We have clear skies and we have a cool weekend on the way. Tomorrow will warm just into the low 30s, but the southward dip in the temperature lines means some cooler areas coming in. And you can see that on our 5-day forecast, which includes a 26 on Sunday, a little warmer with snow late Sunday and Monday again. There'll be some snow tomorrow afternoon too, and 25 on Tuesday. Next snow then on Wednesday. The satellite view of the country shows last night's snow taking off to the east, but here's tomorrow's little snow, and the next one late Sunday and Monday's right there. That's weather for now. More on the 9 o'clock tonight.
This news break is brought to you by your Chicagoland Mazda dealers.
AIDS victim Ryan White's first day back in school turns out to be his last, at least for now. Hours after White returned to his Kokomo, Indiana classroom, a judge had some more bad news for the 14-year-old boy.
The federal government asks for information on our investigation into city construction contracts. And in the wake of the probe, the commissioner of the Public Works Department defends two top officials.
We'll have reports on these stories and more coming up next on the 9 o'clock news.
I don't handle Sonny anymore.
Since when?
Oh, it's a long story, Philly, really. I discovered the kid. He slept on my sofa. I supported him. I don't want to badmouth the kid, but he's a horrible, dishonest, immoral louse. And I say that with all due respect.
Broadway Danny Rose is one of the Woody Allen movies we'll be looking at in a program we're calling What Makes Woody Run?
That's this week on At the Movies, the movie review program.
Saturday night at 5:30 on Channel 9. We return to Hercules. We return to Hercules. Of a crooked aristocracy. Alain Delon stars in Zorro tomorrow night at 11:30 on Channel 9.
Hey, off my case, toilet face.
Welcome back, Carter. This afternoon at 2 on Channel 9.
We'll return to the WGN Saturday Night Action Theater in just a moment. We now return to The Green Berets, starring John Wayne and David Jansen.
Marathon Sports Highlights, brought to you by Marathon, best in the long run. The second half turned into a shooting exhibition as both Indiana and Ohio State shot over 60% from the floor. The leaders were Indiana's Steve Alford with 32 points and Ohio State's Brad Sutters with 25. The 16th-ranked Hoosiers held on by going 13 for 15 from the foul line in the closing minutes to win by 9. Now this. Big Ten fans, get a Big Ten sweater with embroidered emblem in the color of your favorite Big Ten school, plus the new 1986 Big Ten basketball yearbook, just $19.96 plus tax and shipping. Visit your Marathon dealer today for an order form and free Big Ten basketball schedule card. Purdue pulled away from Northwestern to keep pace with Michigan State and Illinois in a third-place tie in the Big Ten. Boilermakers' Doug Lee led the second-half surge with 10 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals. Teammate Troy Lewis led all scorers with 20. The loss dropped the Wildcats to 1-12 in the conference. Marathon Sports Highlights have been brought to you by Marathon, best in the long run.
They lie, cheat, and steal because they're addicted to gambling. Big action and broken hearts on the next Geraldo.
This morning at 11 on Channel 9.
My dad always seemed to go together. Hi, I'm Marisa Wayne.
These are some scenes from tonight's presentation of Hondo, which will benefit the Leukemia Society of America. In a few moments, you're going to see the whole movie in 3D, or in regular viewing if you didn't buy the special glasses. I'll be right back to tell you how to get the best 3D on your TV set.
This special presentation of Hondo in 3D is brought to you by the following participating advertisers. Kellogg's, the best to you each morning. And by Sears Auto Center, where every part and every service is backed by Sears' promise of satisfaction guaranteed. Now you got to ask yourself, who's going to back you better than Sears? And by Grey Poupon Dijon Mustard. Its distinctive flavor enhances beef, sauces, and salad dressings. Grey Poupon, one of life's finer pleasures.
WGN brings you the official winning numbers in the Illinois State Lottery's daily game and the Pick 4. Tonight's drawing is supervised by Irv Ellis, partner with the accounting firm of Laventhal and Horwath. Here's Mary D. with tonight's 3 daily game machines in a randomly selected order. Each has 10 balls, 0 through 9. The drawing starts by mixing the balls in the first machine. Next, the balls in the second machine, and then the third machine. Now here is tonight's first winning daily game digit, 9. Tonight's second winning digit is 3. And the third and last digit is 4. So for tonight, the official daily game winning number is 934. And now the Pick 4 machines in a randomly selected order. The balls are mixed in the first machine, then the second machine, the third machine, and finally the fourth machine. Now here is the first winning digit for Pick 4. 0. The second number is 8. The third number is 3. And the fourth and last digit is 3. So for tonight, the official Pick 4 number is 0833. Join us again tomorrow night for the daily game and the Pick 4 drawing and for Lotto for an estimated grand prize of $4 million to a single winner. And remember, if you are unable to watch the drawings, you can get the winning lottery numbers by calling 1-900-407-CASH. There's a 50-cent charge for each call.
Good morning. This is WGN-TV Channel 9, Chicago, a Tribune broadcasting station coming to you from on top of the John Hancock Building. All rights and programming telecast by the station are reserved. No program may be used or reproduced in any manner. Now, our national anthem.
Years ago, when a lot of you were starting your lives, Channel 9 was too.
Hi, kids. Welcome to Wally's. I know it's a beauty, but someday all TVs will look like this, baby. But it's awfully big.
Oh, I think it's beautiful.
The centerpiece of every living.
Honey, do you think we could afford it?
Great choice, young man.
It was a time of a lot of decisions, a lot of work, and a lot of dreams.
Ooh, a TV.
But no one could dream just how far we'd come together.
Well, maybe we'll just have to move a few things.
Well, who needs a couch anyway?
Chicago's very own Channel 9 and you. thanks for making room for us.
Who needs a table?
And this chair.
Not now. We've got company.
Mystery Theater will return in a moment. Mystery Theater will return in a moment.
Sertoma Job Training Center needs volunteers to help with its foster home program. Call 371-9700.
We now return to The Magnificent Seven, starring Yul Brynner.
We're talking monster laughs.
Cheers is back, beginning October 3rd on Channel 9.
The Crete Chamber of Commerce sponsors its Happy Holidays Floral Show, November 18th. Call 672-9216.
We now return to Breakout, starring Charles Bronson.
There soon may be night baseball games in Wrigley Field. Mayor Washington and the Cubs have reached an agreement to play games under the lights in the friendly confines.
A suspect is charged in connection with vandalism in Chicago's Jewish community, and former President Carter becomes the latest national figure to criticize Chicago's public schools.
We'll have these and other stories coming up next on the 9 o'clock news.
The following program involves realistic portrayals of human behavior, including acts of violence, which may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
A presentation of WGN Community Affairs. Our speaker is Reverend Stephen Camp, pastor of Lincoln Memorial United Church of Christ, Chicago.
Good morning. You know, I have trouble with the Bible sometimes, don't you? Sometimes this Bible conflicts with my ideas, especially when it doesn't say what I think it ought to say. When it doesn't jive with my feelings, when it counters my very beliefs. This Bible sometimes can disturb me. It can irritate me and frustrate me. Sometimes it even makes me angry. But let me share with you specifically what I mean when I say that. Perhaps you can identify with my struggle. Maybe this is part of your faith journey as well. For one thing, I like to plan ahead. I don't like vague schedules or incomplete itineraries. I want things organized and in their place. It is best for me to know when I will arrive, when I will leave, and when I will return. That's what I want, a specific, detailed plan. But what do I get from this Bible? I get an Abraham who, according to Hebrews 11, said it is, who bet his life on unseen realities. Unseen realities. No, that's not for me. That's not the way I see it. I want a ticket that says I am confirmed on passage through the Red Seas of my life, arriving at the promised land when I say I should arrive. It troubles me that I may have to set out on a journey not knowing exactly where I am headed, that I have to trust my guide and my director. It troubles me that I must live like Abraham or Moses, persons who lived with unseen realities, and follow God like they did. What I get from this Bible is often conflict with my beliefs. That's true. But while the struggle is within me and with this Bible, I am thankful to God at the same time, because this Bible offers me also some very meaningful realities as well. What do I get from this Bible? I get a Savior and I get a friend. I get a word that is made flesh. I get a roadmap that leads me right to eternity. Through all of my doubts and my confusions and even my need to run and steer my own life, I get a transformation that is real. My faith is uplifted. My living becomes fuller and more meaningful. So thanks be to God. Thanks be to God that in this Bible is the way to a new perspective in life and a fuller way to live. Direction for my life. Thanks be to God. Because in the context of this Bible, in its content, in the content of this book, I can find hope. What do I get from this Bible? I explore it and I find new realities. For God is with us at all moments in our lives. Have a good day.
You've been listening to Reverend Stephen Camp, pastor of Lincoln Memorial United Church of Christ, Chicago, on 5 Minutes to Live By. This has been a pre-recorded presentation of WGN Community Affairs. Lend a helping hand. Little City for Mentally Retarded Children needs volunteers for Illinois Smiles for Little City Friday and Saturday, August 14th, 15th. Proceeds will be used to fund new programs. If you can volunteer...
You can make your daughter's day, her tomorrow bright. Time is all it takes to make her life seem right. You can make your sun shine with a word or two. You'll see your dream come true. Take the time to give and care for kids' sake. Make the time to live and share for kids' sake. You'll feel better when you see them proud. Take the time to give and care. Take the time to give and care for kids' sake. Make the time to live and share for kids' sake. You'll feel better when you see them grow. Take the time to give and care for kids' sake.
In order to recognize outstanding high school students, Channel 9, Walgreens, and Lewis University present the Extra Effort Award. This week we salute Christopher Richard of Rich South High School. Christopher has participated in several school productions. He is also manager of a local restaurant. And as president of the Key Club, Christopher volunteers at the local Humane Society. This Extra Effort Award was brought to you by Walgreens and Lewis University for kids' sake.
You can make your daughter's day, her tomorrow bright. Time is all it takes to make her life seem right. You can make your sun shine with a word or two. You'll see your dream come true. Take the time to give and care for kids' sake. Make the time to live and share for kids' sake. You'll feel better when you see them proud. Take the time to give and care. Take the time to give and care for kids' sake. Make the time to live and share for kids' sake. You'll feel better when you see them grow. Take the time to give and care for kids' sake.
This For Kids' Sake message is brought to you by Channel 9 and True Value, your store of first choice.
Books can take you places that you may never get, or they may turn you on to places that you will eventually get. The possibilities of what your life can be expanded to infinity through what you're able to take out of books. In other words, you're not born limited if you can just get access to books.
Parents, start your child reading and start early. Together, discover the pleasures of reading for kids' sake.
Like magic, they're here.
What's here? My brand new Bozo bookmarks.
Kids, get your very own Bozo bookmark, a neat way to help you read. Drop everything and head out to your local Chicago Public Library or True Value hardware store and pick up a brand new Bozo bookmark. It's free. If you're at the library, sign up for a card too.
Hey, Boz, did you know?
Then tell us how many books you've read. Fill out the bottom of the bookmark and drop it in the mail to our Drop Everything and Read drawing. We're giving away some great prizes. 2 bikes, 2 sets of tickets to the Bozo Show, and a collection of children's classics. Send your entry to For Kids' Sake, WGN 2501 West Bradley Place, Chicago 60618. All entries must be received by October 24th. Then watch the Bozo Show on the 31st and see if you're a winner.
I see lots of great prizes and lots of great readers.
Yeah, and I see I'm going to the library. Yeah, to drop off more bookmarks.
For months now, we've been talking about For Kids' Sake. We've had special programs, news stories, community events like our storybook breaks at neighborhood libraries. We're paying some extra attention to the needs of Chicago's children, and really that's the whole point. Whether or not you have kids of your own, the issues that affect children touch all our lives. We call it For Kids' Sake, but really it's for everyone's sake.
This is WGN-TV Chicago, your station for kids' sake.
Making your way in Chicago today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Aren't you glad there's Channel 9? Chicago's very own, where you can laugh and life again. Where the heroes always win. You want to be where you can see the best TV can be. Nine's the place and everybody's glad you came. Where you can laugh at life again. And the heroes always win. You want to go where you will know you're gonna have a real good time. Welcome home to Chicago's own Channel 9.
We now return to Breakout, starring Charles Bronson. Tonight, a cop quits the force to seek revenge when his partner is murdered. Chuck Norris stars in An Eye for an Eye.
Cavities, too.
Good evening. The Illinois House of Representatives is expected to vote tonight on a supplemental spending plan that gives approximately $5 million to Chicago public schools. Meanwhile, Education Secretary William Bennett says Chicago's public schools are the worst in the nation. In sports, the NBA season gets underway tonight, but you have to wait a day to see the Bulls. And if you're going to the game, you may want to take an umbrella. Join me, Rick Rosenthal, Tom Skilling, and Chuck Swirsky after the movie.
Good evening. A deal has been cut on lights at Wrigley Field. Mayor Washington and the Cubs have agreed on a plan for 18 night games at Wrigley. The mayor's plan goes to the city council next week, where approval is by no means certain. The City Council Police Committee today unanimously endorsed Leroy Martin to be Chicago's new police superintendent. Chicago police have arrested a suspect in connection with Tuesday night's anti-Jewish vandalism on the North Side. And the White Sox have traded Rich Dotson. We'll have these stories and more tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
Mayor Washington lashes out at the federal government in his inaugural speech, and the CHA goes to court tomorrow. We'll have details tonight at 9. Good evening. Senate Republican leader Robert Dole officially entered the race for the presidency today from his Kansas hometown. The Denver Boot is on Chicago streets again looking for cars owned by drivers with 10 or more unpaid parking tickets and revealing information about pap tests that fail and the costs to women. Sometimes it's their lives. We'll have a special report tonight. Also tonight, Tom Skilling with more on the cold temperatures that are with us again tonight, and Dan Roan has more on the injured Chicago Bears. We'll have details at 9.
Good evening, I'm Tom Skilling in Chicago. A great big dry air mass has come in today, producing some beautiful weather as the big showers and thunderstorms stay off to the west of us, and this is where they will sit through the next couple of days. The only chance of rain we see is with this cold front coming into Montana tonight. That weather system will probably be into the Chicago area by the time we get to, late Tuesday night or Wednesday sometime. Till then, we expect slow warming away from the lake. 70s tomorrow. There'll be 50s at the lakefront. Another day of northeast winds, but bright sunshine for the daytime period tomorrow. That's the weather for now. More tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
Education Secretary Bennett says Chicago schools are the worst in the country. In Springfield, a deal on more school aid. These stories and more. The news follows the movie. Good evening. The city of Chicago is studying a new report which says electric rates in the city would be sharply lower if the city provided its own electricity. ComEd disagrees. The Civic Federation says City Hall must trim fat from Mayor Washington's proposed new budget before approving any of the tax hikes the mayor wants. A semi hauling a load of steel grating turned onto its side on the inbound Ike in Broadview. Just as rush hour was beginning this afternoon, there were no serious injuries, but traffic in the area was jammed. Now, these stories and more, the news follows the movie.
All the babes say I'm terrific, so how come Diane says my IQ wouldn't add up to a respectable earthquake? She makes me lose my mind. I can hear her now. Sam, dear, how can you lose your mind? You don't have one. Well, I do know one thing. Cheers is on 5 times a week, and that gives me 5 times a chance to get even.
Weeknights at 6 here on Channel 9.
Mr. Wood now returns in a fistful of dollars.
On Magnum, tonight at 10:30 on Channel 9.
Next on the best of the National Geographic special, enter the universe that is the body human, the domain of life itself, where nature's grand design miraculously unfolds, where the familiar becomes the fantastic. Explore the magnificent landscape within us all, the incredible machine.
Tuesday night at 7 on Channel 9.
Weeknights at 6:30 on Channel 9.
The search and salvage of the Titanic has begun. Tonight at 11:30, Jason Robart stars in Raise the Titanic, here on Channel 9.
You'll see a man buried alive. Maybe you'll see him escape. Halloween night, the legendary illusions of Houdini will be performed live. His most famous and dangerous tricks. You'll see David Copperfield, Penn and Teller, the amazing Randy, Harry Blackstone Jr., and others. And along with the tricks, there's a treat. A live seance to summon the spirit of Houdini.
William Shatner hosts The Search for Houdini, coming Halloween night to Channel 9. It's Anchors Away when Notre Dame meets Navy on Channel 9. The action begins Saturday morning at 11 in South Bend. The Fighting Irish have taken 23 straight from the midshipmen, and Heisman hopeful Tim Brown wants to make it 24. Notre Dame meets Navy, Saturday morning at 11 on Channel 9.
It's November in Chicago. We've got a full tub of popcorn, half a dozen brewskis,
It's 7 o'clock and a great flicks on Channel 9. Hit it. Come on. Chicago, November, the movies on Channel 9. Yeah. The smash hits, the all-time greats. Here's looking at mine, kids. Hollywood's very best is on Chicago's very own Channel 9.
It's almost time. Time for Halloween Fright. A Halloween night where no one comes home. For the first time on TV, Halloween 3. Happy Halloween. Season of the Witch. Thursday at 7 on Channel 9.
Hello, I'm Pat Harvey. Join me and the rest of the 9 o'clock news team for a special report on the deadly disease AIDS tonight at 9.
Tomorrow night at 7 on Channel 9.
The Chicago Historical Society hosts a lecture by author Lloyd Wendt, November 22nd. Call 642-4600.
John Belushi now returns in Animal House.
Good evening. There is word tonight that Aurelia Paczynski will be the Democratic Party's choice for Circuit Court Clerk, edging out former Mayor Jane Byrne. A look at one of the last of its kind, the Braidwood 2 nuclear generating plant, which may never be duplicated because of its cost. And House conservatives are threatening to walk out if Soviet leader Gorbachev addresses Congress next month. A rather blustery day in Chicago this Tuesday. Tom Skilling has our weather forecast. And Dan Roan has Bears-Bronco fallout, including some words from Coach Mike Ditka. Join us at 9.
Tomorrow on Cheers, Diane's friend puts the moves on Sam.
Sam, I want you, and I don't care who knows it.
And it's Doomsday on Barney Miller.
The world is coming to an end.
At 7.
Chuck Norris. No escape. No surrender.
You lose.
Nothing to live for but revenge. For the last Americans in Nam, the real war has just begun. Chuck Norris. Missing in Action 2. The beginning. Tuesday night at 7 on Channel 9.
The Washington and Jane Smith home hosts a crafts bazaar on November 14th. Call 779-8010.
Judd Nelson and Molly Ringwald now return in the Breakfast Club.
We didn't think that it would ever happen to us.
Chicago is at risk.
One of those things that's never going to happen to me.
Real people dealing with it every day.
How do I tell my family I'm going to die?
From Chicago drug shooting galleries to the family next door.
There's just tremendous confusion and tremendous ignorance and tremendous fear.
We hear it every day. Now look at it like never before. AIDS, Chicago at risk. A special report tonight on the 9 o'clock news and tomorrow at noon on Channel 9.
Fred Astaire now returns in Ziegfeld Follies.
While Fred Astaire was making Ziegfeld Follies, he was concerned about his next project. MGM wanted him to star in a movie called Belle of New York. He wasn't very happy about it, but a big career decision was practically made for him when Paramount and MGM made a deal so that he could be reunited with Bing Crosby for a film called Blue Skies. We're going to watch that right after Ziegfeld Follies. I'm Roy Leonard, inviting you to stay tuned.
Meet Gonzo Gates.
It is completely irresponsible.
You need a man like...
Line goes! Way back! It might be! It could be! It is!
Holy cow, Steve, what a year it's been. Of course, you got to talk about the big band of Andre Dawson.
And don't forget the pitchers. Rick Sutcliffe is having a great year, and this year we have a strong bullpen.
I hope you'll join us for a special look at this year's ball club.
It's Cubs 87, the spring to the top.
Tuesday night at 6:30 on Channel 9. Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby return in Blue Skies.
Unmentionable, unthinkable, unbelievable.
Absolutely.
So, tonight at 6:30 on Channel 9.
The Pap test, a routine examination for cervical cancer.
Experts say 1 in 3 Pap tests yields misleading results.
When a Pap test is misread, it can be a deadly mistake.
You have no idea it's Russian roulette.
Beginning Monday, Pat Harvey examines Pap tests that fail, how it happens, and what you can do about it. It's what every woman should know. Russian roulette, Pap tests that fail. Beginning Monday on the Midday News and the 9 o'clock news. A special report from Channel 9.
Cubs baseball were Budweiser, the king of beers and proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Canon, the official camera of the Chicago Cubs. Nissan Cars and Trucks, built for the most important race of all, the human race. Unical 76, who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. Ameritech Pages Plus, published by Donnelly Directory, and Buick. This great American pastime is brought to you by Buick, the great American road car, and your better Buick dealers.
This is WGN-TV Channel 9, reminding you to take time out for your kids today. You'll be glad you did, for kids' sake. We now join our program, already in progress. Meet the legends and celebrate the history of Channel 9 at the Museum of Broadcast Communications. For more information, call 987-1500.
Blast off in 3, 2, 1. Hey, where you going, Bud? No time to talk, Cook. I'm heading for the fun ship. Weekday mornings on Channel 9.
Just off to Channel 9's new show, The Spiral Zone.
Then we climb aboard on the Bozo Show. From then on, it's off to the land of our little blue friend, the Smurf. And then on to Grundo for the all-new adventures with Teddy Ruxpin. Liftoff begins at 6:30 weekdays.
Wow, mornings are going to be a real blast on Channel 9.
Chicago's very own 7 o'clock movie with limited interruptions. Tonight, it's a hard-drinking, bar-brawling cross-country comedy with Clint Eastwood and his pet orangutan in Every Which Way But Loose. Now, Clint was spoiling for a fight. Sandra was just plain spoiled. And Clyde was cruising for babes. When they had a little misunderstanding with some crazies, some smokies, and a gun-toting granny, till they were in every which kind of tight spot, just looking to get loose. Clint Eastwood, Sandra Lott, and Clyde.
Bang!
Tonight's 7 o'clock movie is presented with limited interruptions and will begin after these messages.
A funeral today for 8-year-old Nikki Corwin, killed in last Friday's shooting rampage in Winnetka. We'll update the Winnetka story along with the rest of the day's news after Jaws.
I'm Robert Jordan. Democrat Michael Dukakis is edging up in the polls on this, the last weekend before Tuesday's election. That story after the movie.
The 8-year-old boy killed in last Friday's shooting rampage in Winnetka is laid to rest. A guilty verdict in the Stephen Small murder case. These stories and more. The news follows Jaws. Chicago suffers through another day of heat and air pollution. The weather story and the rest of the day's events tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
Sports Break is brought to you by Budweiser, sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you.
Well, enough is enough. The words of Sting owner Lee Stern, who decided to call it quits. After the championship season of 1984, the team fell on hard times. Stern's decision to get out may also signal the end of the Major Indoor Soccer League. The remaining teams decide the league's fate on Monday. On the south side tonight, Harold Baines breaks out of his slump, knocking in 3 runs to help the Sox beat Boston 6-5 in the first of 2 at Comiskey. In the nightcap, the White Sox lead at 5-3 in the 4th. Ozzie Guillen talks about being selected to his first All-Star game. That and much, much more coming up at 9 o'clock.
Chicago police arrest El Rook and Anthony Fort for murder. Bond denied for the Dualabys, and the prime rate is going up. These stories and more tonight on the 9 o'clock news. 3 Calumet City police officers will be fired for failing to aid a rape victim. Accused murderer Daniel McKay will not be tried again. Join us tonight for the 9 o'clock news.
New information tonight that the woman behind the Winnetka shooting sent packages of poisoned food to people in 3 states. We'll have details after the movie. Funeral services were held today for the off-duty police officer killed over the weekend. We'll have details following the movie.
The trial of Lee Harvey Oswald continues. The prosecution rests. Now the defense counterattacks. Can Oswald's lawyer, who hasn't lost a jury trial in 19 years, convince you that his client didn't pull the trigger, that he was merely a helpless patsy set up to take the fall?
See the evidence and cast your vote by calling a special 900 number and see if you agree with the jury's decision. On trial, Lee Harvey Oswald. Tonight at 7 on Channel 9.
The following For Kids' Sake message is brought to you by your neighborhood True Value stores.
We'd like to give you a child's eye view of your home with its many temptations. Brightly colored bottles, holes in the wall to stick things in, long shiny things you just can't resist picking up. Little kids don't know how dangerous these things are. Until they're old enough to learn, their safety depends on you. Childproof your home. For kids' sake.
The true story of a life more fascinating than fiction. A world premiere. Stacy Keach is Hemingway. Wednesday night at 7 on Channel 9. Chicago's very own 7 o'clock movie with limited interruptions. Tonight, Steven Spielberg's blockbuster fish story comes to town in the form of a 25-foot-long great white shark. Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, The Blues Brothers. Tuesday night at 7 on Channel 9. Night Court, weeknights at 6:30 on Channel 9. Clint Eastwood now returns in Every Which Way But Loose.
I hereby declare my candidacy for mayor. I'd rather drink muddy water. The whole world is watching Chicago tonight.
Harold Washington, Chicago's first black mayor. 1 year after his death, how is he remembered? What legacy did he leave behind? Harold Washington, Remembering the Man. Sunday night at 8 on Channel 9.
WGN Presents will return in a moment.
Together they're TNT, premiering Saturday, January 16th.
Some families have quiet dinners together, but not Mama's family. Some families get caught up in political issues, but not Mama's family.
It's a yellow waxy buildup in Russia.
Some families are into sports, but not like Mama's family. There's no family like Mama's family.
Mama's Family, tonight at 6:30 on Channel 9.
Inflatable airplanes, electric train hats, and bicycles built for 5. The year is 1948, and in April, Chicago's very own went on the air. Join me Thursday, September 8th, as we look at 4 decades of Chicago television through the cameras of WGN, the classic programs, history-making news, and great moments in sports. It's Chicago's very own at 40, coming Thursday, September 8th on Channel 9.
Summertime, 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 Channel 9.
The summer comedies on Channel 9.
Pure dynamite!
Moving on up.
Ow!
Partying down.
All right.
Joking and smoking and rocking this town.
Good times, Jefferson.
Barney and Benson.
The fun is 5 to 7 on 9.
Summertime.
5 to 7 weeknights on Chicago's very own Channel 9.
Summertime, 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 Channel 9. Pure dynamite!
Summertime's the right time for good times. Weekdays at 5.
Summertime.
Hollywood's very best is on Chicago's very own Channel 9. One man, one legend, 3 classics. Co-starring Mary Astor, Sidney Greenstreet, Peter Lorre, Ingrid Bergman, and Lauren Bacall. One man, Humphrey Bogart. Beginning Monday, 3 of Bogey's Best, The Maltese Falcon, The Big Sleep, and Casablanca. Those fundamental things still apply. The Bogart Festival, beginning Monday night at 7 on Channel 9.
Join us for the Cubs versus San Diego game, televised tomorrow at 9 p.m., brought to you in part by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
John Wayne and Katharine Hepburn now return in Rooster Cogburn.
You can make your child's day each tomorrow bright. You can make their life seem right. Take the time to give and care for kids' sake, kids' sake. Make the time to live and share for kids' sake. You'll feel better when you see them grow. Take the time to give and care for kids' sake.
It's Toohey and Niles.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Walker. I star in the hilarious television show Busted Loose. You'll love it.
Honestly.
Saturday at 5 here on Channel 9. This is WGN Television, Channel 9 in Chicago.
Good morning. This is WGN-TV Channel 9 Chicago, a Tribune broadcasting station coming to you from on top of the John Hancock Building. All rights and programming telecast by the station are reserved. No program may be used or reproduced in any manner. Now, our national anthem.
Watch Geraldo. You'll never know what to expect. Tomorrow morning at 11 on Channel 9.
Sports Break is brought to you by Budweiser, sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you.
A long shot comes up a winner in Toronto. Mill native wins the Arlington Million in record time. And for the first time in 8 years, the race was held outside of Arlington Park. The 4-year-old colt returned $83.20 for the win. We'll also take a look at the Travers Stakes, a big race for 3-year-olds. At Wrigley, the Cubs beat Atlanta 5-4. The Cubs showing some aggressiveness on the bases. Gary Varsho steals third, comes home on the errant throw to score the winning run. 5-4 the final. But we'll check in with the Sox. They're in Detroit tonight, and the Bears are in Lake Forest getting ready for Dallas on Monday. I'm Sid Garcia.
Sports Break is brought to you by Budweiser, sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you.
Good evening. The Bulls are in Washington tonight trying to avoid an 0-2 start in the new NBA season. At the Cap Center, they've gotten more inspired play from inside. Horace Grant and Bill Cartwright taking some heat off Michael Jordan. And in the third quarter, the Bulls lead by 7, 76-69. College football, Notre Dame shined up its #1 ranking at the expense of Rice, 54-11. 2 kickoff return TDs for Ragib Ismail. And in Champaign, the Fighting Illini stayed right in the thick of the Rose Bowl race with a last-second 21-20 victory over Indiana. Those stories and all the sports coming up tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
Sports Break is brought to you by Budweiser, sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you.
Good evening. The word is out that Michael Jordan has been named the NBA's most valuable player. The official announcement is set for Wednesday. John McEnroe led the winners' parade in Paris on day 1 of the French Open Tennis Championships. In baseball, the White Sox are hosting the Cleveland Indians, trying to dodge both the rain and their 8th consecutive defeat, 1-1 in the third there. The Cubs and Braves rained out at Wrigley, but Harry Carey's been a busy boy lately. We'll tell you what he's up to later on tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
Sports Break is brought to you by Budweiser, sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you.
Good evening. At Wrigley Field today, a doubleheader split for the Cubs against Atlanta. 3-0 losers in the first game, wasting 9 shutout innings by Jamie Moyer. But in the second game, Damon Berryhill's single in the 6th inning helped Al Nipper to his first National League win, 2-1 over the Braves. At Comiskey Park, the White Sox are after back-to-back wins against the Cleveland Indians. Right now, on the south side, it's 1-1 in the third inning. Those stories plus Stanley Cup highlights tonight on a late edition of the 9 o'clock news.
Sports Break is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Good evening. There's been very little change in the status of the 2 Chicago Bears injured yesterday in the Packer game. Quarterback Mike Tomczak expected to miss 3 weeks with a separated left shoulder. Defensive end Richard Dent on crutches today at Hallis Hall, out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken leg. Sean Smith will replace Dent. Mike Ditka shopping for a backup quarterback as well. The newest college football poll has Notre Dame a solid #1 after the impressive win against Southern Cal over the weekend. Miami 2nd, West Virginia 3rd. And in high school football, Loyola Academy won the Prep Bowl out at Soldier Field this afternoon, 21-6 over Julian. Those stories and all the sports later on tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
Ready, Cook? What am I supposed to say? Invite them to my Grand March for Kids. When? Saturday, December 16th. What time? From 11 to 3. Where? At the Rosemont Horizon. Hey, it's at the Horizon. How was that?
It's Bozo's Grand March for Kids, this Saturday at the Rosemont Horizon. Get your picture taken with Bozo and Cookie free. Admission is free, and so is parking. Bring your folks, bring your friends, and everyone bring a brand new unwrapped toy for one of Chicago's needy kids this Christmas. We'll have games of chance and entertainment to beat the band.
Got the wrapping paper? Check. Decorations? Check. Jokes? Check. And music. Hey, be part of Bozo's Grand March for Kids this year. It'll be a great day. And a grand way to say Merry Christmas to Chicago's needy kids.
Bozo's Grand March for Kids is brought to you in part by Montgomery Ward and Little Caesars Pizza.
What's next? Watch out this week on Geraldo.
If those are just mice in your basement, why won't the cat go down there? Monsters.
Tonight at 10, here on Channel 9.
There are toys, and there are toys. There are hitters, and then there are hitters. There are plenty of Monday morning quarterbacks, and one on WGN Radio. who actually knows what he's talking about. Of course, he has to. Just listen to him try to explain the Bears game to Bob Collins.
Whatever it takes.
Channel 9's Sunday 5 o'clock movie will return after these messages.
We now return to The Bridge on the River Kwai.
Channel 9's Sunday 5 o'clock.
Tomorrow night at 7, Molly Ringwald and Anthony Michael Hall star as troubled teenagers in 16 Candles.
I'm Dr. Michael Resnick with news about calories.
This medical news update is brought to you by Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Calories are not created equal. You see, the kind of calories you ingest, rather than the total amount, decide whether you'll get plump or stay slim. Recent research has proven this by showing that fat calories signal your metabolism to burn less and store more. So to stay slim, please, give up fatty foods. Now this.
Higher. My head really hurts. I don't care what anyone says about pain relievers. The only thing that really counts is, will it work for me? Advil does. Just one Advil is as effective as 2 regular aspirin, so one's usually enough. But when my head's really pounding, 2 Advil make quick work of the pain. Advil, it's what works for me. Before there was only aspirin or Tylenol, but today there's Advil. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Chicago suffers through a heat wave today, but cooler air is on its way. President Bush offers U.S. aid to Poland. The Bulls get a new head coach. The news follows the movie.
Good evening, I'm Roseanne Tejas. A decision tonight about how Juan Rivera should pay for the murder of Holly Staker. We'll hear what he said to the jury who held his life in their hands. And a lot of would-be travelers pass the time the best they can, hoping a plane will soon take them away. The latest on the American strike on the WGN News at 9.
Northern California digs out of the rubble amid continuing aftershocks. The latest on the quake aftermath tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
Loneliness is ageless. But the gift of time builds a bridge across the years. Teach your children to treasure the generations.
Democrats filed for the 1990 elections. A Kankakee official charged with the arson murders of 4 children. Mean cold in Chicago's forecast. All the news tonight at 9.
I'm Robert Jordan. The Cubs ticket phone lottery for the anticipated playoff and World Series games has been extended. That story after the movie. I'm Robert Jordan. Bond is denied for a Marionette Park police officer accused of killing a paramedic in suburban Robbins. That story tonight after the movie.
Local Democrats swamped the clerk's office with nominating petitions. A Kankakee County official charged with murdering 4 kids. We'll have all the day's events tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
More questions about the deadly collapse of a California freeway. The latest on California's earthquake recovery tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
A teenager arrested for robbing a Zion bank. Chicago police charge an arson suspect with murder. We may not be as fat as we think we are. Details tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
You remember all the laughs, recall all the smiles. You relish Carla's slams and marvel at Sam's style. You'll never find a place that's ever quite the same as the little Boston pub where they all know your name.
Fraser.
Cheers. It's back. Weeknights at 6, beginning Monday on Channel 9. Look who's staying up late.
This is probably the biggest thing I ever got into.
The biggest thing you ever got into was your pants.
There's something funny going on.
What am I going to do with peanuts?
Eat 'em like any other elephant.
And it's bound to be big.
Gee, I never knew Davy Crockett was so fat.
Stay up with the Honeymooners.
and you'll be laughing all night long. Tonight at 10 on Channel 9. We've got someone to put some sizzle into your summer nights.
Who wants to go to Maui?
He's every crook's nightmare.
Watch.
He's every woman's dream.
You're doing beautifully.
He's
Magnum.
Magnum. 5 times a week. Spend an evening with one of the best and let Magnum put some sizzle into your summer nights. Magnum. Tonight at 10:30 on Channel 9.
Mean one, Mr. Fielding. Am I stupid? Am I ugly? What am I?
I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
You are greedy and possessive.
Nobody gets my money.
Obnoxious and obsessive.
You're divine.
Mr. Fielding.
I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Ready for Betty?
You'd hate to touch him, but you'll love to watch him on Night Court, beginning October 2nd on Channel 9.
Chicago's very own 7 o'clock movie with limited interruptions. Tonight, Father Ralph and Maggie finally consummate their love. Richard Chamberlain and Rachel Ward star in The Thornbirds.
And as for Ralph, he'll never know Dane's his unless you tell him. And if you do, I warn you, I'll be as merciful to you as you have always been to me.
Yes, your vows are broken. One cannot truly be a priest without the humility to understand that one is first a man.
Tonight's 7 o'clock movie is presented with limited interruptions and will begin after these messages.
Tonight's feature brought to you by new Pop Secret Light. They loved pop.
Parents need to know what's in the music.
Songs and music videos about racism, hate, and violence against women. Is that what it takes to make a hit these days?
There is an entire trend for promoting hatred against people on the basis of sex, race, religious belief. They're going to hear it. They're going to see it. It's there. You can't stop it.
School Day is reality, hardcore, to the point.
Sex, violence, racism, and rock and roll. Next to Roma.
Tomorrow morning at 11 on Channel 9. Hill Street Blues. Tonight at 10:30 on Channel 9. Christmas in Connecticut. Thursday night at 7 on Channel 9.
The Field Museum will host a new photographic exhibit entitled Homeless in America, beginning December 16th. Call 922-8859.
Cary Grant now returns in The Bishop's Wife.
Chicago suffers through a heat wave today, but cooler air is on the way. President Bush offers U.S. aid to Poland. The Bulls get a new head coach. The news follows the movie.
There's this rumor going around about Tom Skilling. You see, some people think he's a little too accurate. He's right so often about the weather. They're beginning to think that he's not just predicting it, he's making it. Now, we're not exactly sure what he does with all those computers and satellites, but we are sure that no weatherman, however good, can actually make the weather. Tom Skilling with the midday and 9 o'clock news. He's so accurate, you'll think he's making it happen.
The girls are going abroad. It's a month in Gay Paris.
I can't believe it!
As the city of romance embraces the girls from Eastland.
I've seen it so many times, but it's always a thrill.
In a whirlwind vacation, the adventure of a lifetime. A 2-hour Facts of Life special.
Nails down the Eiffel Tower, guys, because here we come!
The Facts of Life goes to Paris. 7 o'clock Tuesday on Channel 9.
The Chicago Parents Association of Inroads is sponsoring a walkathon July 15th. For details, call 663-9892.
5 episodes, all this week at 6 on Channel 9.
Why are you staring at me?
Am I staring? Tom Hanks is about to fall in love.
I'm here and I can stay all night.
But every time they meet, it's just to say goodbye.
Sarah's getting married, David.
Sorry, only wants to understand. I don't care what he wants.
What is love after all?
Where is he? He's gone.
Tom Hanks, Every Time We Say Goodbye. Thursday night at 7 on Channel 9.
A hot day in Chicago today, but it's not going to last. Phil Jackson becomes the Bulls' new head coach. President Bush tours Warsaw. The news follows the movie.
These are the great ones, Ruth and Hogan, the ghost that galloped through the rain, the mighty coach of Irish legend. We may never see their like again. These are the shots heard round the world of Thompson and Joe Louis, the perfect nine that Larson hurled, the record run of sweetness. These are the men no man defeated, the mighty Rock, the Iron Horse. Their deeds will never be repeated, say those who mourn their loss. These are the men who wrote the books, Slingin' Sam and Joltin' Joe, the great Kareem with his skyhooks, and Banks of Chicago. They talk of Ali to this day, of Cousy and Bill Russell, and of West and Wilt, they say, will never see their equal. Tell them that you've had a vision of talent, heart, and soul, and that the old legends need revision to make room for one young bull.
The trick-or-treat running race to benefit UNICEF will be held October 21st in Lincoln Park. Call 728-7292.
Rachel Ward now returns in The Thornbirds. Rachel Ward now returns in The Thornbirds. Rachel Ward now returns in The Thornbirds.
Sports Break is brought to you by Budweiser Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
The Cubs' storybook year added another dramatic chapter this afternoon at the friendly confines. Mitch Webster comes through with a pinch and single to knock in the winning run in the bottom of the ninth. Cubs beat the Pirates 3-2, and the party begins. Folks, the magic number is down to 4. White Sox and Rangers, by the way, no score in the second. Top-ranked Notre Dame a winner today, Illinois 2. Coming up on the late edition of the 9 o'clock news, a preview of tomorrow's Bears-Lions game. I'll see you after the movie.
Sports Break is brought to you by Budweiser Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Good evening. The Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks are hooked up in a two-man shootout tonight at the Omni, and you know who they are. Atlanta's Dominique Wilkins and the Bulls' Michael Jordan. Scoops, pumps, and dunks all night. But the Hawks lead now in the fourth quarter, 85-73. Also in the NBA, the Lakers trying to snap a 9-game road losing streak tonight in Sacramento. And in Lake Forest, the Bears clean out their lockers and head for home following Sunday's loss to the 49ers. Those stories and all the sports tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
Sports Break is brought to you by Budweiser Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Good evening. As expected, the Chicago Bulls have named Phil Jackson to replace Doug Collins as the team's head coach. Jackson, a Bulls assistant for 2 seasons, had been the odds-on favorite to get the job after Collins was abruptly fired on Thursday. Jackson believed he would have gotten a 4-year contract from Chicago. Also in the NBA, Stu Jackson is the new coach of the Knicks, and a group headed in part by Chicago and Peter Bino has bought the Denver Nuggets, the first black ownership of a major professional team in America. Those stories and all the sports at 9:30 on a late edition of the 9 o'clock news.
Sports Break is brought to you by Budweiser Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Good evening. It's been a record-setting day with respect to Major League Baseball. The largest contract in the history of the game has been signed by San Diego free agent reliever Mark Davis. He won the National League Cy Young last year. He's agreed to a 4-year deal with Kansas City worth $13 million, or $3.25 million a year. We'll have White Sox reaction to that interdivision signing and the newest college basketball rankings tonight in sports on the 9 o'clock news.
Sports Break is brought to you by Budweiser Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
It's the Hawks and Nordiques at the stadium tonight. First period action. Watch the play near the net. Doug Wilson comes up with his 5th goal of the season to give the Hawks a 1-0 lead at the 12:08 mark. It's still 1-0 in the first period. Sean Gale will start for the Bears Monday night against the Browns. He's nursing an injured chest muscle. As far as Vesty Jackson's concerned, he ditched meetings and practice for the 2nd day in a row. You'll hear from the coach on Jackson's situation at 9 o'clock.
Chicago's very own. This is WGN News at 9.
You're looking live at Michigan Avenue on this blustery night. A big chill is putting the Windy City into a deep freeze. Good evening, I'm Dina Baer.
And I'm Robert Jordan. The groundhog may have predicted that spring.
Next on the Midday News.
Good morning, I'm Steve Sanders. Coming up on WGN News, embattled Congressman Dan Rostenkowski back at work on the budget. Did he try to use his key role to delay the House Post Office probe? We're live in Washington. Here in Chicago, fallout in the Amanda Wallace case, DCFS paying a big price. And a young woman, 2 months pregnant, is stabbed to death. Her husband now under questioning. And later, one of Chicago's very own comes home to rebuild Tobacco Road. Those stories and more coming up at noon.
Good evening, I'm Robert Jordan. Chicago police tonight believe they have a child napper behind bars. 31-year-old Ronald Norton has been charged with luring 4 girls into his car. The victims are all between the ages of 8 and 13 and attend St. Benedict's on the north side. Also tonight, killer tornadoes strike Florida and a glorious fall weekend. See you right after the movie.
If you're a mean one, Mr. Fielding. Dan Fielding and Night Court. Weeknights at 6:30 on Channel 9.
What day comes once a year, every December, and brings lots of toys to Chicago's kids?
That's easy. My Grand March for Kids.
It's Bozo's Grand March for Kids this Sunday from 11 to 3 at the Rosemont Horizon. Bring a new unwrapped toy for one of Chicago's needy kids this Christmas. Get a free Polaroid taken with Bozo and Cookie. We'll have plenty of entertainment, games, and holiday cheer. Bozo's Grand March for Kids is brought to you in part by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers for kids' sake.
A compelling holiday saga for the entire family. A Child Called Jesus. Monday night at 7 on Channel 9. It was a routine mission until the storm hit.
I've never seen anything like it.
No, it's December 7th, 1941. What the hell's going on here? The USS Nimitz has one chance.
We're about to fight a battle that was lost before most of you were born.
To rewrite history.
This time, it's going to be different.
Kirk Douglas, Martin Sheen, The Final Countdown. Saturday at 10:30 on WGN Channel 9.
He's accused of picking up schoolgirls as young as 8 years old. All of the victims came from the same North Side school.
Also tonight, a frustrated store owner opens fire on a group of high school students. And the people of Florida suffer new natural disasters, killer tornadoes. Plus, remember those summer-like temperatures? And not a good day for Notre Dame. The 9 o'clock news is next.
Next January, Bozo is taking a vacation to Walt Disney World, and your family can join him. Call 1-800-342-9889 to purchase this incredible package. VIP seating at a special taping of The Bozo Show. 3 private parties with Bozo and friends, plus Disney characters. 4 nights at Disney's Beach Club Resort. 4 days admission to the Magic Kingdom, Epcot Center, the Disney MGM Studios, and more. Space is limited, so call 1-800-342-9889. When it plays like Chicago.
3 things. You got to be ready for anything. It's going to be in your face, and it's never over until Chicago says it's over. That's how Chicago plays it, and nobody plays it better.
You know it's Chicago's very own 9 o'clock news. We know Chicago.
All believe in, and there's a way that your viewers can help kids like Cass, and that's through something called the Bozo Ball, which will be held on April 13th at the Fairmont Hotel, and that's why we're here today to talk about that.
The Bozo Ball you mentioned about. I understand a little bit earlier in the week that Bozo met up with Michael Jordan.
Yes, indeed. One of our kids was thrilled to go down and meet 2 heroes, Michael and Bozo. And that ball that you see being signed by Michael will be available at a special auction at the ball with a lot of other great sports memorabilia, Red.
That's great. Michael has always worked has always worked with the youngsters, the youth, and he seems to be enjoying it there with Bose.
Right, we're just grateful that we have a hero like Michael and a role model like Michael in Chicago. Isn't that great?
Hey,
there's Michael with his nose. Yeah, we were thrilled when he put that on.
He said, it looks better on you, young man.
By the way, at the ball, Red, everybody will have tuxedos and red noses on.
That's great. You know, I just happened to spot two of my favorites out here. Hello, Bose. How you doing?
Hiya, Red. How are you?
Hey, I never met another guy with red hair and big feet like mine.
Yeah, you and I shop at the same store there for shoes.
Tell me a little bit about the Bozo Ball.
Well, I'll tell you right now. It's this year. It's going to be April the 13th. It's going to be Saturday. It's going to be at the Fairmont Hotel, and it's going to help us benefit the Off the Street Club. And I want to thank you and the Bulls for helping us out. And I got a little something here for you.
Hey,
there you go.
Hey,
yeah.
That's really neat.
Yeah. By the way, we gave one to Michael. Here's one for you.
One for me?
Yeah.
Can I do it?
I think so.
I like it. Hey, Bose, you like it?
Thank you, Red. I love it. And besides all the fun, it's going to help kids who need help on a year-round basis. So I hope everybody will help us and be at the Fairmont on April 13th. Thank you, Red.
We'll be back with more of the Bulls game right after this.
Yep.
Later this evening, immediately following the game, for all of the breaking news. For Newsbreak, I'm Robert Jordan.
James Cagney now returns in white heat. Their love would make the whole world listen. Kiefer Sutherland, Crazy Moon. Friday night at 7 on Channel 9. There's a place for everyone at the 15th Annual Chicago Distance Classic, Sunday, July 14th. Challenge yourself in the 20K or 5K run. Walkers can go the distance with a 5-mile fitness walk. Children can join in the junior event. As part of our For Kids' Sake campaign, Bozo the Clown will kick off the day's event. Help benefit the Chicago Lung Association's Camp for Asthmatic Children. Join in the Chicago Distance Classic. For more information, call 312-RUN-1900. In order to recognize outstanding Chicago area high school students, Channel 9 presents the Extra Effort Award. This week we salute Paula Barajas of Benito Juarez High School. Paula is in the Principal Scholars Program. As part of her fundraising activities, Paula helped raise much of the money needed to build her school's baseball field. She's also involved in the community, where she counsels younger kids against the dangers of drugs and gangs. Tune in for next week's Extra Effort Award winner Tuesday night at the 9 o'clock news. It's For Kids' Sake. Hey kids, do you know what being a good sport means? If you do, we'd like to hear from you. It's almost baseball season, and we're giving away a set of 4 tickets to the Cubs-Brewers preseason game on April 6th. These tickets will go to the first 375 kids ages 7 to 14 who write us and tell us what being a good sport means to them. So write us at Good Sports for Kids' Sake, WGN-TV, 2501 West Bradley Place, Chicago, 60618. Make your letter around 100 words, and be sure to include your name, address, and phone number. You can only enter once, and all entries must be received by March 25th. Then, we'll be big sports and treat you and your family to the Cubs game on April 6th. One of our winners will even get to throw out the first pitch. So write us today and tell us what being a good sport means to you. Then, we might see you on April 6th, when all the good sports will be going to Wrigley. For Kids' Sake. This is WGN Chicago.
In the late 30s, law enforcement efforts to bust up the underworld inspired a wave of gangster films, and that lineup for Warner Films, known as Murderers Row, read like a who's who of cinematic rascals and reprobates. There was James Cagney, Paul Muni, George Rapp, and Edward G. Robinson. Bogart, still relatively unknown, picked up The Leftovers, comprised mostly of one-dimensional characters who wound up either dead or maimed and who never got the girl. But one of those leftovers was High Sierra. Rapp, Cagney, Robinson, Muni, they had all been offered the lead. Each turned it down. High Sierra was Bogey's big chance. He would still play a gangster, but this time a role with depth. And the public could finally see more of Bogey, the real actor. Let's begin. High Sierra.
Chicago's very own 9 o'clock news.
The liberation of Kuwait has now entered a final phase. I have complete confidence in the ability of the coalition forces swiftly and decisively to accomplish their mission.
President Bush announces that a massive ground war in the Persian Gulf has begun to oust Iraqi troops from Kuwait. Good evening, I'm Robert Jordan.
And I'm Roseanne Tejas. The offensive began just 8 hours after the U.S. imposed deadline for Saddam to pull his troops out of that country.
The president abruptly returned to the White House from his Camp David retreat to tell the nation we are now in what he called the final phase of Operation Desert Storm.
Good evening. Yesterday, after conferring with my senior national security advisors and following extensive consultations with our coalition partners, Saddam Hussein was given one last chance, set forth in very explicit terms to do what he should have done more than 6 months ago: withdraw from Kuwait without condition or further delay and comply fully with the resolutions passed by the United Nations Security Council. Regrettably, the noon deadline passed without the agreement of the government of Iraq to meet demands of United Nations Security Council Resolution 660, as set forth in the specific terms spelled out by the coalition to withdraw unconditionally from Kuwait. To the contrary, what we have seen is a redoubling of Saddam Hussein's efforts to destroy completely Kuwait and its people. I have therefore directed General Norman Schwarzkopf, in conjunction with coalition forces, to use all forces available, including ground forces, to eject the Iraqi army from Kuwait. Once again, this was a decision made only after extensive consultations within our coalition partnership. The liberation of...
If you haven't seen the Joan Rivers show lately, oh, you haven't seen Joan Rivers. You might say she's on a roll.
Hit it, Spike.
Weekday mornings at 10 on Channel 9.
He is the living Christ. On est живой Иисус. And tonight he's willing to come into your heart.
Now that recent history has turned the communist world upside down, much of Billy Graham's 30-year mission to Eastern Europe can be openly shared. The Billy Graham Evangelistic Association presents a television milestone. The Bible and the Wall with Billy Graham.
See Billy Graham with an important message plus great music and special guests. Airs Sunday, 8 p.m.
We continue now with Dial M for murder.
$97. Midnight Mania at Brenner. Friday only. But get there by midnight, or don't say we didn't warn you.
John Wayne now returns in The Barbarian and the Geisha.
Good evening. The U.S. House voted today to reverse a Supreme Court ruling which restricts abortion counseling. Governor Edgar says the state budget crisis has gotten $350 million worse. The Illinois Senate today rejected a Chicago school property tax increase and voted against expanding McCormick Place. Chicago in for a heat wave. I'm Rick Rosenthal. Join us tonight for the 9 o'clock news. The Illinois Senate rejects help for Chicago schools and the McCormick Place expansion. Details tonight on the 9 o'clock news.
Hondo is in 3D. Please put your glasses on.
The Center for Inner City Studies presents a recital in black honoring outstanding black composers June 28th. Call 268-7500.
Hondo is in 3D. Please put your glasses on.
More of them than anyone else. WGN, your favorites are on us. This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. The broadcasters of your area, in voluntary cooperation with federal, state, and local authorities, have developed this system to keep you informed in the event of an emergency. If this had been an actual emergency, the attention signal you just heard would have been followed by official information, news, or instructions. This station serves the northeast section of Illinois. This concludes this test of the emergency broadcast system.
Good evening. State's attorneys from 8 Chicagoland counties today announced a joint effort to combat gang crimes in the suburbs. Unscrupulous realtors may be targeting residents of the southeast side where Chicago's 3rd airport is planned. It's almost spring. Cubs pitchers and catchers started workouts in Arizona today, while single-game tickets went on sale at Wrigley Field. Politics. Mario Cuomo says no, again, sort of. I'm Rick Rosenthal. Join us tonight for the 9 o'clock news.
When it feels like Chicago.
The weather here is really like no place else. It's tough, it's bold, it slaps you in the face. It dares you to walk down the street. That's the way it feels here in Chicago, and when you live here, you wouldn't want it any other way.
You know it's Chicago's very own 9 o'clock news.
Remind me I said that in March.
We know Chicago.
Whack smack, what was that? In 6 weeks, he's on the attack.
Can he do it? Easy Money, tonight at 11:30 on Channel 9. We now return to Troop Beverly Hills.
Sports Break is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers with that clean, crisp, cold taste.
Good evening. The Bulls are in Atlanta tonight, gunning for a 2-game sweep on their southern road trip. And the Bulls grabbed a 6-point lead in the first quarter thanks to this razzle-dazzle from Scottie Pippen to Will Perdue. The Bulls now up by 4. The game now in the third period. More on the Bulls, plus Olympic news and a report from Mesa on the first day of Cubs camp on the news at 9 o'clock.
What if? The question triggers the imagination. The imagination challenges the mind. The mind hungers for knowledge. Knowledge leads to discovery. The Discoverers. The Museum of Science and Industry, Chicago.
WGN-TV Channel 9 is proud to salute Chicago's African-American community during Black History Month. Sunday on Chicago's movie station, Cary Grant and Ingrid Bergman in Notorious, Paul Newman in Torn Curtain, and Anthony Perkins in the original Psycho. It's a Hitchcock suspense Sunday, beginning at 11:30 on WGN. For Flying with Bandit Silver Angel, Saturday night at 7 on WGN Channel 9. It's big time. Big fun.
Well, how about it's the double?
Big numbers.
Number 6, $1,000.
Big prizes.
Hey, it's the other half.
And big money.
Went up to $500,000.
Get into the game. The Illinois Lottery's $100,000 fortune hunt. Saturday night at 6:30 on WGN Channel 9. Barry Bonds, Matt Williams, and the Pacific Stock Exchange invade Wrigley for a 3-game weekend series. It's the Cubs and the Giants. Friday afternoon at 2 on WGN Channel 9.
Yeah. Since GN carries the Cubs games, we get some pretty good seats, don't we?
I know, I always do.
Because I'm having a contest on the Punnett Show to give away Cubs tickets and a grand prize of a car from the Wickstrom dealers.
That's innovative.
And I'll give the ticket winner a Walkman so they can listen to you while they're watching the game.
Hey, I appreciate that thought.
So you think I can get some pretty good seats?
Oh, sure. You're big in this town.
Kiss the frog, baby.
This is the WB.
Hello, my baby. Kiss the frog, baby.
Well, hello, my baby.
WB.
Ooh, baby. Kiss the frog, baby. Carol O'Connor, Howard Rollins, in the heat of the night. Weeknights at midnight on WGN. WGN's Late Movie will return after these messages.
You know, people ask me if I understand women. I say yes, as long as they, speak clearly.
Simon, comedy that makes sense from the creator of Mad About You, coming this fall to the WB.
Coming Sunday nights this fall to WGN. Mad Max, Tuesday night at 7 on WGN Channel 9.
It's pretty.
Wednesday on WGN Channel 9. Wednesday on WGN Channel 9. This is WGN-TV, Chicago. This is WGN Channel 9, Chicago, a Tribune broadcasting station. Our transmitter is located on top of the John Hancock Building. All rights and programming telecast by the station are reserved, and no program may be used or reproduced in any manner. Now, our national anthem.
The Prime Movie is brought to you by Ralston Purina Company of Checkerboard Square.
Tom Skilling, weeknights on WGN News at 9. The following program depicts violent acts or behavior. Viewer discretion is advised. Larry Potash, weekday mornings at 7 on WGN Morning News.
I'm Roseanne Tejas. Coming up tomorrow on WGN Morning News from 7 to 9, Omnimax and Outer Space will take you behind the scenes of Destiny in Space. And delicious California pizza, the secrets to making one in your oven, all tomorrow on WGN Morning News.
The Bulls are back, starting Monday at 7, here on your home for Bulls basketball, WGN.
Tonight on the 7 o'clock movie, 3 extraordinary pets.
Not much further now.
One remarkable adventure to find their way home.
I'm going home.
Homeward Bound, the incredible journey. Tonight on WGN-TV.
Masters.
Hi, this is John Ritter. Please join me for a very special hour filled with great down-home music from the live performance capital of the world, Branson, Missouri. You'll see the best in family entertainment from America's favorite stars, Wayne Newton, Glenn Campbell, Mel Tillis, the Lennon Sisters, even special appearances by Garth Brooks, Naomi Judd, and Ricky Skaggs. And it's all for a good cause, helping hungry children in America.
Saturday night at 7 on WGN. This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9. Friday at 7 on WGN Channel 9. Happy birthday, George. We survived the Great Fire. We survived the Great Flood. There's no way we'll survive this. Oh my Godzilla weekend! 2 days with the king of the monsters wreaking some serious havoc.
Neither man nor his machines are able to stop this creature.
3 Godzilla classics, including the original thriller. Oh my Godzilla weekend! Starting Saturday at 1 and continuing Sunday at noon on WGN.
I'm Joyce Meyer, and I would like to invite you to join us every week right here on this station for our Life in the Word program. Psalm 107:20 says he sends his word and heals them and delivers them from the pit and destruction. That is exactly what God has done in my life. He has delivered me out of a broken, wounded, abusive, dysfunctional past and brought me to a place where he has set my feet upon a rock and I am whole in him. You join us every week right here for Life in the Word.
Perfect. Now on WGN, weekdays at 4 and 6.
Every week on Breakthrough, Pastor Rod Parsley brings you power-packed television that touches your life and gives you hope.
This house, God's calling you into his plan. You tried everything else. Why don't you try Jesus right now?
Leading America back to Bible basics, Breakthrough is changing hearts, homes, lives, and families. Find out why Breakthrough with Rod Parsley is TV's hottest half hour. Join us. There's a breakthrough coming your way Thursday mornings at 6:30.
Thanks for watching tonight's Big Ticket. Next, Sylvester Stallone stars in the action-packed Rambo First Blood Part 2, only on America's Superstation, WGN. When it's movies you want.
I'll be back.
You on America's Superstation. WGN Superstation.
So much to give. Beauty and the Beast. Weekdays at 2 exclusively on WGN.
Bull, Steve Harvey after the Parenthood.
Tonight at 7 on WGN.
9.
Terror has a new address, the World Wide Web.
Tell her.
An all-new Buffy.
Tonight at 10:30 on WGN.
On an all-new Brotherly Love, Matt's old girlfriend's fallen for Joe.
Hi, baby.
Wait. Looks like trouble. Let's see how Matt handles it.
I think I'm in love with your brother.
Andy? Brotherly Love. Then it's Nick Reno's birthday and he's in for a big surprise. Now he's older and wiser. Okay, just older.
Security! Oh, yeah, I'm scared.
An all-new Nick Reno.
Tonight at 6 on WGN.
There's only one way Joe can get a girl to fall out of love with him.
Just be yourself.
Brotherly Love.
Tonight at 6 on WGN.
WGN, 50 years as Chicago's very own.
The best films in the world come to Chicago for the 34th Chicago International Film Festival, October 8th through the 22nd. For more information, call 312-332-FILM.
They are the movies that move you.
Hello, sir.
And WGN's got your ticket.
Give it to me!
The Big Ticket Movies, 7 nights a week.
This is WGN Entertaining America.
Today, our Old West afternoon continues with the story of a cowboy who inherits some real estate that's a lot more than he bargains for. Jimmy Stewart and Henry Fonda star in Cheyenne Social Club.
Anytime, any place, anywhere, MacGyver makes it happen.
Sounds like an interesting guy.
Weeknights at 11 Eastern.
You got that straight.
It's a no-holds-barred battle of the X's. The War of the Roses.
Friday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on WGN.
Sounds like a fairy tale, doesn't it?
Wednesday, the Central Sizzles. And watch the North Side heat up when the Cubs take on Pittsburgh. Game 3 from Olympia. Cubs versus Pirates. Wednesday at 2 Eastern on WGN. Wednesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on WGN.
Will and Sakina fight over his sight.
He's a big booty watcher.
The big booty, what do you want me to do?
So he had a blind date.
Body was just toned.
On an all-new Change of Heart.
Today at 3 Eastern, 2 Central on WGN.
On the next Street Smarts, who will take the Street Smarts crown?
According to the Bible, what did Moses do to the Red Sea?
Sailed the Red Sea.
Find out on the next Street Smarts.
Today at 3:30 Eastern on WGN. The Big Ticket Movie. Weeknights at 8 Eastern on WGN. Stories that will warm your heart with Christmas cheer. Shelley Long stars in a different kind of Christmas. Tonight at 8 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
So savvy.
Oh, come on.
So smooth. So Matlock.
Weeknights at midnight on WGN. Tonight, a snooty rich girl learns how the other half lives when her fairy godmother gives her a lesson in humility. Ali Sheedy and Beverly D'Angelo star in Made to Order, the WGN Big Ticket Movie.
The boys of summer are back on WGN, America's #1 superstation. Follow Sammy Sosa and the Chicago Cubs, plus the AL Central Division champion Chicago White Sox as they take on the best of both leagues. Yankees, Mets, Orioles. This is where your teams come to play. Wherever you live, whoever you follow, the best of both leagues slug it out right here, WGN Superstation. We now return to Ali Sheedy and Beverly D'Angelo in Made to Order. We now return to Ali Sheedy and Beverly D'Angelo in Made to Order. WGN is America's superstation. A general entertainment network for the whole family. Bigger and better than ever. That's WGN Superstation. Bringing home great shows, action and adventure, live specials, professional sports. Topped by one of America's biggest movie libraries. Whoa. This is WGN Superstation. The comedies you love. Get it all. Superstation WGN.
When it's action you want.
I was told to seek your help, Beastmaster.
You want America's Superstation. WGN Superstation.
Free Winona? CJ reveals the man behind the t-shirt and the trial. Plus, Anna Nicole Smith's new legal trouble. Next CJ.
Tonight at 11 Eastern on WGN. When it's comedy you want.
Now who's hotter than Madonna in a pointy bra?
You want America's Superstation. WGN Superstation. Live from WGN-TV Chicago, the official drawing of the Illinois Lottery.
Good afternoon, I'm Jeanette Rivera with your winning lottery numbers for Thursday, November 21st, 2002. Pick 3 will be our first game. The first winning number is 2. The second number is 7, and the third and final pick 3 number is 3. And that makes the pick 3 numbers for pick 3 273. Moving on to pick 4. And don't forget to purchase your Mega Millions tickets for tomorrow night. That jackpot is up to $10 million. Lotto is up to $2.5 million. The first pick 4 number is 0. The second number is 1. The third number, that number is 2. And the fourth and final pick 4 number is 4. That makes the pick 4 numbers for this afternoon 0124. Join us again tomorrow for your Illinois Lottery midday drawing. This is Jeanette Rivera. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Today's lottery drawing has been supervised by the accounting firm of Hill Taylor LLC and is brought to you by WGN-TV.
This is Superstation WGN. Superstation WGN is the home of the sports you can't live without.
I love you, Molly.
The stars you love.
I've always loved you.
The action you want. Get it here. The comedies you crave. So when you see this, you get movies, action, comedy, and sports. All in one place. Superstation WGN. There's funny. There's very funny. And then there's super funny on Superstation WGN. Starting weekday afternoons at 4. Bada bang! Tune in for the shows you know.
Count Bad's great hair.
That know how to keep you laughing.
Why don't I count the black ones instead?
Weekdays starting at 4. The comedy is super. And the laughs are super funny. On Superstation WGN.
It's gonna be lit.
You're watching America's #1 superstation, WGN. You are now watching 7th Heaven. Next, Full House. After that, Family Matters. Only on America's Superstation, WGN Superstation.
A full hour of Will and Grace at 6:30 and another knockout
Don't miss the comedy main event of Superstation WGN.
There's funny. There's very funny. And then there's super funny on Superstation WGN. Station WGN. This fall, watch TV's funniest family. Yours. Weekdays on Superstation WGN. This fall, watch TV's funniest family. Yours. It's a knockdown, flipped around good times 5 days a week.
Did you heard it?
Yeah.
Oh.
You want to kiss my butt?
No,
America's funniest home videos. It's the ultimate reality television. Weekdays on Superstation WGN. This fall, watch TV's funniest family. Yours. Weekdays on Superstation WGN.
Reach for new Windex Vinegar Wipes.
Superstation WGN is your home for great comedies. For the comedies you love, get it all right here. Superstation WGN.
American Idol Rewind. Go back to the beginning with the one show that made America sing. American Idol Rewind. Coming this fall to Superstation WGN.
Due to some graphic violence.
Scrubs, making house calls this fall on Superstation WGN.
You're watching Forrest Whitaker in The Fourth Angel on WGN America.
Boston Legal, Saturday at 7 East, 4 West.
Now back to The Fourth Angel on WGN America.
Sunday nights on WGN America. We'll howl the night away with Bewitched and I Dream of Cheese. Can you dig it, baby?
Too bad every day can't be a Sunday, huh?
It's Out of Sight Retro Night, Sunday at 11 East, 8 West, only on WGN America.
Your campaigns are clever.
Tonight on the Bob and Tom Show, comedians Chris Bliss, Roy Wood Jr., and James Gregory.
Pro wrestling kind of guy, huh?
I've always kind of thought football was fake.
Oh, really?
Tonight, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. West on WGN America.
Tomorrow night, time for a little smash mouth basketball as the Bulls look to start the new year off right with a win over the T-Wolves. Tomorrow at 8 on WGN America.
The Lord sent you to me to get your family back.
To be the most notorious slave catcher, one would think you'd have caught the most notorious runaway.
Harriet Tubman.
Ain't nobody scared of you.
We just need to be ready when my friends arrive.
The plan has changed.
Underground, season premiere, Wednesday, March 8th, only on WGN America.
What I have done, God could never forgive me.
God has forsaken us, but I will make sure our children survive.
Pure. All new this Tuesday at 10. Only on WGN America. Available on Dish, DirecTV, or check your local cable listings.
We're building the biggest news operation in the country. 5,500 journalists across the U.S. to deliver you news, not talk. Facts, not opinions. News Nation, coming September 1st to WGN America. Your news, your nation.
Your stories come from everywhere in America.
From small towns to big cities.
And we're looking forward to telling those stories. It's the national newscast you've been waiting for.
Just facts, no opinions.
And we'll be using the power of local TV newsrooms and meteorologists across the country. Live every night starting September 1st.
Join us for News Nation on WGN America.
Your news, your nation. The far right thinks this, the far left thinks that. Where do you go to find a common sense point of view? the American point of view.
From politics to sports to pop culture, we'll ask the questions you want answered.
I don't want to tell you how to think. I want to give you something to think about.
The Donlin Report, coming March 1st to News Nation.
Now on WKRG.com. Honoring Black History. Go to WKRG.com and click Honoring Black History. Presented by these local sponsors.
7 decades, 12 News has focused on pivotal local stories, reporting historic news shared across Mississippi and across our nation. Now our focus is expanding.
What we believe in, is inspired by what we know. News Nation is a national newscast in primetime 7 nights a week to keep you in the know from across the country, to decide what you think and believe it all. News Nation, coming September 1st to WGN America.
Gnawing at me.
Hi, I'm Chicago. I have my own kind of politics, my own kind of music, my sports teams, and when I laugh, the whole world grins. I have my own radio station, WGN. We go all day, we go all night. Anytime you want me, just tune in here or give me a call.
WGN Radio is Chicago.
The following paid commercial program does not reflect the opinions and views of Nexstar Inc., this station, or their employees and affiliates. Hitting the road? Take Dan, Lauren, Morgan, Marcus, and Sarah with you. Listen to WGN Morning News on WGN Radio, weekdays from 4 to 6.
Come out for a night of trivia at the library. Bring your friends and form a team of up to 5 people for the Elmwood Park Public Library's Tuesday Trivia Night. Prizes given out to the winning team. For details, visit WGN-TV.com. World-class.
The Fire head north of the border for a late-night match in Vancouver, Saturday at 9. WGN Streaming is sponsored by Advocate Health. Together, let's live well.
Monday. For a few days this summer, one small airport is busier than O'Hare. Behind the scenes at the Super Bowl of Air Traffic Control in Oshkosh. Monday on WGN News at 9. The WGN-TV Plus app has more ways for you to stay connected. Stream WGN News live. Get today's top stories and breaking news. Watch Backstory. Check out Tom Skilling's weather and all the WGN morning news fun. Search WGN on your TV and download our free app on your device.
WGN Streaming is sponsored by Advocate Health. Together, let's live well. Chicago's very own 7-day forecast from the WGN Weather Center, sponsored by Ankin Law.
Sarah Gendra helps you get on your way. Weekdays on WGN Morning News.
Tonight on GN Sports, the Sky host the Dallas Wings. The Cubs are in Philly, and the White Sox open up the second half against Cleveland tonight at 10:30 on GN Sports.
Saturday. The Fire head north of the border for a late-night match in Vancouver, Saturday at 9 on WGN. The following paid commercial program does not reflect the opinions and views of Nexstar Inc., this station, or their employees and affiliates.
Chicago's very own midday news with trusted anchors Dina Bair and Patrick Elwood. Weekdays from 11 to 1 on WGN.
Imagine if information came with a nutrition label. Then you'd know if what you're consuming has the right mix of facts, sources, and context. But it's on us to make healthier choices about what to consume, share, and act on. Get Newslit Fit at newsliteracyweek.org.
Mario Lopez hosts the Celebration of Service to America Awards, Saturday at 6.
Tom Skilling pinpointing when the chance for weekend storms will begin.
Steve Bannon convicted. What happens next tonight on the news at 9 and 10.
Tonight, the Ukrainian national wrestling team has a new temporary home at an Indiana high school. How they ended up in the Chicago area tonight on WGN News at 9.
Monday, Summer Festival fashion tips and a live performance from singer-songwriter Nyla XO. Daytime Chicago, Monday at 10.
The Fire head north of the border for a late-night match in Vancouver, Saturday at 9.
That Charlie sure doesn't get much sleep, so you might as well stay up with him. Time for more 2.5 Men on the WGN Nightcap. Next, brought to you by the Huntington Learning Center.
WGN is known as Chicago's very own.
But severe weather can strike anywhere.
So wherever you live, when you turn to us for your forecast,
think of WGN as Bolingbrook's very own,
Norridge's very own,
Waukegan's very own,
Whiting's very own,
Schaumburg's very own,
Tinley Park's very own,
Batavia's very own.
Wherever you live, when severe weather strikes, WGN's got you covered. Stay safe with the WGN Weather Center.
Today, drugstore beauty finds, plus an interactive block party in the loop. That and much more on Daytime Chicago today at 10 and streaming on the WGN Plus app.
The 31st annual AIDS Run and Walk Chicago to help end the HIV epidemic in Illinois returns Sunday, October 2nd. The event features 5 and 10K routes starting at Soldier Field, along with at-home options. Register at AIDSRunWalk.org.
The Fire head north of the border for a late-night match in Vancouver, Saturday at 9.
All right, time for voicemail. All this stuff today. Paul's in the newsroom.
The WGN-B team was asked to read actual viewer comments about their show.
I watch the B team because the B team is hilarious, not pretentious, and far from perfect. You're real. It matters. I love that.
I want to be informed, and I want to laugh. Check and check. Don't change a thing.
I watch the B team because you're all bodacious. Get out of here. Nonsense.
Thanks for the love, everyone. The B team's back Monday morning from 4 to 6 on WGN. The Business Report is sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old.
Today, drugstore beauty finds, plus an interactive block party in the loop. Daytime Chicago, today at 10.
Around Town with Anna Belival is sponsored by your Chicagoland and...
Tonight on GN Sports, the Sky host the Dallas Wings. The Cubs are in Philly, and the White Sox open up the second half against Cleveland tonight at 10:30 on GN Sports.
Monday. For a few days this summer, one small airport is busier than O'Hare. Behind the scenes at the Super Bowl of Air Traffic Control in Oshkosh. Monday on WGN News at 9.
Monday morning from 4 to 10, all the news, and we are talking to the author behind a new book that looks at the rise and fall of Harvey Weinstein. Food and beverage journalist Adasha Townsend shares her picks for romantic spots around the city, and Pat is handing out more coffee to unsuspecting viewers. Join us Monday, 4 to 10.
Sunday on WGN-TV Political Report. Can pleas from voters drive lawmakers to act on assault weapons? Plus, the road ahead for the January 6th committee in Indiana's abortion debate. Sunday at 9.
Dr. Allison Arwitty takes the helm at a new side gig. WGN News Tuesday.
Bad bed. WGN Streaming is sponsored by Advocate Health. Together, let's live well. The WGN-B team was asked to read actual viewer comments about their show.
I watch the B team because the B team is hilarious, not pretentious, and far from perfect. You're real. It matters. I love that.
I want to be informed, and I want to laugh. Check and check. Don't change a thing.
I watch the B team because you're all bodacious. Get out of here. Nonsense.
Thanks for the love, everyone. The B team's back Monday morning from 4 to 6 on WGN. Weatherbug is sponsored by Patrick Auto. We believe our customers deserve it all. It's a Patrick thing.
Spaghetti with hot dogs is also my favorite dish. Sure beats lamb chops, right? Young Sheldon's next. Sponsored by Huntington Learning Center.
Previous. Watch for Blue Cross Blue Shield Skycam 9. Weekdays on WGN Morning and WGN Evening News. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois reminding you to buckle up and enjoy the ride.
Mario Lopez hosts an all-new special, the Celebration of Service to America Awards, featuring Leadership Award recipients Patti LaBelle and Jose Andres, plus other stars.
Saturday at 6 on WGN.